corner. Not much good having a shop like that. Pets don't have any money. Good morning, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, YouTube. So, thought about a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people this week. Got a project I'm working on, and I've ordered some parts direct from China. Well, that always conjures up terrible images, and people think, oh, Chinese rubbish, it's a death trap, it's this, it's that, it's the other. And undoubtedly there have been situations in the past where that's been true. But here's a thought for you. Things change, things improve, and actually in a way I'm really worried about it. The last few parts I've had from China have arrived, and they've not been, well, they were cheap, they've not been, they're okay. They've been really good, and I do mean really, really good. I mean, you would have paid 4 times the price and not questioned them. The machining's been absolutely spot on, the tolerances have been perfect, the finish has been lovely, and they've arrived in a week, direct from the factory. It's like, well, this is now a problem, because these parts are comparable, in a lot of cases, to the stuff you're buying, sourced in Europe or the US or wherever, or Japan, at 4 times the price. And if we've learnt one thing about China, you only have to look how their infrastructure's evolved. They don't stand still for very long. So if they're very close to matching European quality now, then where are they going to be in another 3 or 4 years? Because I've seen this big change in the parts quality come about in an extremely small period of time. I mean, they've gone from being mediocre and serviceable to really good in 4 years, 5 years at most. And are they going to start, like, for example, this Korean car in front of me, they've got much better, but then they come much closer to European prices? Or do we think that Chinese are going to keep the prices low? One of the reasons this really worries me is it's great for the consumer that can buy cheap parts that are actually very good and are not lethal and are going to work just fine. In fact, the brake discs on this bike right now are Chinese. They haven't given me the slightest issue. The reason this worries me is because I suspect there might be a master plan at work. I suspect that the engineering and the industry in China is heavily subsidised by the government. I know the post is. That's why they can post, you know, a set of levers for £1.80 from the other side of the world in a week. It's because the Chinese government subsidises it. And I suspect they're probably doing the same via some sort of way of them getting any of their export trade deals back or something like that for their engineering. And what will happen, they will start making parts that are as good or even superseding or exceeding European quality. Don't forget, your iPhone, think what you want, it is made in China. And it's made in China from Chinese components. It might be to Californian specifications, but they're Chinese. The Chinese can make the quality goods. But I suspect what they're going to do is put themselves in the marketplace where they are the only viable option, where you just cannot justify spending 4 times as much for what will become inferior European, Japanese or American part. The American, Japanese and European manufacturers are going to have to cut down their quality to get close to the price breaks, but they'll become so dominant in the marketplace they effectively force everyone else out of business. And when that's completed, they're then free to put their prices up to suit. The Japanese did this to a degree with the Japanese bikes. The earliest ones were based on very basic designs from Britain, from the early CB450s and things like that, which were largely influenced by the British parallel twins. They copied, then refined, and then dealt a hammer blow. My fear is this is going to happen to a degree, not necessarily completely, but to a degree, to the European and American parts industry. I don't think there'll be a threat to people like Brembo and White Power, because I think people will buy those goods regardless. I mean, people won't stop buying Rolls Royces because Kia are building a very good car. But I do think the generic parts manufacturers have got 2 options. They either start moving all their production over to China or they go out of business. And that's bad for the economy of the developed countries that put all the work into to develop them. But I mean, for me, for my project, it's great. I feel a little guilty buying the Chinese parts because I want to support homegrown manufacture to a degree, but equally, I don't have the money to be too picky on it. You know, I'm not building the project on an absolute budget, but I'm certainly not an open checkbook, so when you can buy a set of levers for £20 that are perfectly serviceable and good, or a set of levers for £90, you're going to go with the cheaper ones. So yeah, is the manufacturing industry for motorcycle parts in the rest of the world under threat? What do you think? I think the day we see a successful Chinese race team or race bike, I think it's game over. Do hit the like and subscribe buttons. Always going to be something interesting on this channel, and see you soon. I'm going to buy some imported oil.